Oh man, I'm all right. I'm just happy to be alive.
Well, I think we,
You know, nowadays it's a good thing.
yeah, I think we're all happy to be alive at this moment. But anyway, hey, I understand you're going to be playing at the Belly Up this Saturday. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay, well, I got a hold of Matt over at Alligator Records, and basically, I'm wearing my cool Alligator Records shirt right now. But I am celebrating Alligator Records' 50th anniversary. They started in 1971, and I've been playing their music since 1971. A lot of great players that have come out of Alligator Records, and you, Mr. Tommy Castro, happen to be one of them. So we're going to chat a little bit with you. We're going to talk about your the show a little bit more. So that is at Belly Up. Is it Friday or Saturday?
Saturday.
Okay, it's at Saturday at Belly Up, and that's in Solana Beach for you people in San Diego County and my hometown, Oceanside. It's very close by for a great show. So who's opening for you?
Now that's a good question. You caught me off guard there. I don't remember who it was. There was some discussion. There were a few groups being discussed, and they settled on somebody. And to be honest with you, I can't remember. I have to look it up.
Okay, but it's not another Alligator record.
It's gonna be. It's been a while since we've been able to perform for folks. I mean, that schedule was. That gig has been rescheduled a couple of times, I think.
Yeah, I heard.
And so we're really looking forward to get back there. It really is, probably one of the top 5 venues anywhere in the world that we like to play. There's just a handful of places that we just really look forward to and feel that we have some sort of connection with, Right. Randy, our bass player, has been with me for coming up on 30 years. He's from La Jolla and, grew up down there. And so it's always been, he played for many years with a group called the Dynamos before that. And they would play there all the time. He's been playing there I guess probably he's been playing in the room for over 40 years now. So it really is something that we feel like we have a strong connection with the audience and the music scene down there, and the room. There's something happens in that room sonically that's really great. Not to get too wacky, but the vibes. There's always a really good feeling about in the room. Somewhere between the audience and us and the music and the walls and the energy. It just has always been a great experience for us there.
Yeah, I think it's the old Quonset hut atmosphere that is kind of cool. It's kind of unique. There's not too many places that use an old Quonset hut as their place for entertainment. Hey, Tommy, so basically I've been playing a lot of different Alligator artists for the last, since the beginning of the year. So I'm now up to the year 2001. And in 2001, you were actually, and I'm holding up a video right now, you were actually on another label. It was called 33rd Street Records. That was in 2001, and it was just the Tommy Castro band before Tommy Castro and the Painkillers, and the title of that one was Guilty of Love. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the last thing that John Lee Hooker ever recorded.
Oh, really?
Before he died, is on that record.
Oh, yeah. Which song is it?
Guilty of Love.
Oh, Guilty of Love was him.
Yeah, John Lee was the first thing you hear when you hear that song. He said we really had quite an experience recording John Lee for that track. But that was a one-off record with that label. It was a record label that was owned by Tower Records, and that was back in the day of record stores.
Oh yeah.
And when there was, that was before we were able to get music off the internet, and so we thought it was a good idea to make a record with a label owned by such a huge chain like Tower Records, because Tower Records was cool. It was a chain store, but it was a really cool operation. There's a long story about that. There's a documentary on it. It's worth watching.
Oh, really?
But I dug the whole, the Tower Records thing was something we wanted to be involved with. But as it turned out, it didn't turn out to be a good idea in the long run. We were between labels. We were recording for Blind Pig before that, and somebody in our management team at the time came to me with this deal from Tower Records and their label. They called it 33rd Street. And it was a cool idea. It just it had a lot of really good advantages for us, and it also had some disadvantages for us. But overall, it was, the important thing is the music, and it was a group that was one of my first two incarnations of the band. The drummer had changed from the original drummer, Shad Harris, and it was our second drummer, Billy Lewis. But other than that, it was me, Randy, and Keith Crossan was the core group. And I'm trying to think who was involved in producing that record. I think it was Jimmy Pugh.
Yeah, I saw that name on there.
Yeah, Jimmy Pugh, who has the Little Village Foundation and was with Robert Cray for so many years.
Hey, Tommy, I'm actually holding up this handsome video of you. It is your CD. You must have been like, what, 30 at that time? 20?
I was in my 30s.
Yeah.
I was in my 30s. Yeah, it sounds right. Let me see. Where are we now? That was
in 2001.
2001. So 21 years ago. Well, 20 years ago.
Yeah. Okay.
So I would have been 40. I would have been 46.
Oh, okay. Well, now we know your age, so you should have hid that one. I try to hide it all the time, so to not seem older than I am.
I made it this far.
Hey.
And I'm in good, knock on wood, in good health, and still able to play and write songs and make records and tour and all that stuff. And I'm amazed, honest to God, I am amazed after we've all been through in recent, times that we are able to do what we're able to do. We've got a full tour schedule.
Uh-huh. We
got a brand new record on the coming out next month
on Alligator.
Uh-huh. And it's a record like no record I've ever made before. It's different.
Really?
It has a story that runs through it. Every song is part of a story.
Huh.
So it's like a blues. It's like a rock opera.
Oh, that's cool.
But it's a blues opera.
A blues opera. Yeah, I'm actually now.
I hesitate to use the word opera.
Okay.
That's it basically is a concept album.
Okay, well, Tommy, I'm actually holding up I guess this one came before the 33rd Street. I have the Essentials, Tommy Castro, Blind Pig, 2001. So that must have been the one before 33rd Street. But was that a lot of music you had played before? What was your very first album? You remember that one?
Well, that depends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the very first album was a little live recording that we did at a club in San Francisco that we played all the time called the Saloon.
Mm.
And it was the oldest bar in San Francisco, and we were just starting out playing all the little blues joints. In those days, there were a lot of little blues joints in the city. People were going out for blues every night, and they were packed, a bunch of small clubs. It was a really great time for us. But long story short, we made a live album there, and it wasn't meant to be an album. It was just we just wanted to record the band so that we could make a cassette. And we could put that cassette in an envelope and mail it out to other clubs and
Right.
get gigs. That was the whole purpose of it.
Cool.
But it came out. We had a lot of good performances on there, and the owner of the saloon had created a small record label for bands that he recorded in there, and we put it out as our first album. It's called No Foolin', and CDs had just become the new format,
Right.
and we were just going to make some cassettes up, like I told you. But he said, why don't we make CDs and cassettes, and you can sell these at your shows and stuff. And I said, that sounds like a great idea. So we did our first record. And but during that time, shortly after that, we got signed to Blind Pig, and we made a proper album in the studio. But there's something about that first live record that's got some really, again, the sound of the room is pretty. It's really, really great. It just sounds great in there. I don't know why. It's a small place, but all the walls are made of wood, and there's just some there's an interesting resonance that happens in there that you don't really notice it when you're playing in there live, but listening back to the recordings, people love that record. And we went on to make our first studio album on Blind Pig called Exception to the Rule. So I would say that our first real record was the first Blind Pig album.
Okay.
Exception
All right.
to the Rule.
Well, I'm holding that one up right now, The Essential. So basically that was 2001. So I've got a lot of your CDs. So, and that's why you're Artist of the Week for Alligator Records.
That would have been 90-something. That would have been 96, maybe.
Yeah, and plus you're actually so you're going to be at Belly Up this Saturday. I think the doors open at 7, and then we'll find out who's going to be playing. And also, you've got a new CD coming out. What's the title of that?
Blues Man Came to Town.
Blues Man Came to Town. That's coming out September 17th, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's available for pre-sale right now. You can go on my website and order it. We'll send it out to you with a signature.
Oh.
And if you get an advanced copy, you get one of these little tins of signature guitar picks.
Oh, that's cool.
And then we throw that in with the pre-orders, and all of those, of course, are signed. And it's going to come out on vinyl, but not just any old vinyl. It's coming out on clear, colored vinyl, and it's a high quality, the high quality vinyl that everybody presses these days, and but it's Coke bottle green.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it will come with a download code, so you can get the vinyl, and you can also download the music, put it on your devices. So, or if you just want a CD for the car, or if you're still, using CDs in your house, we've got the CDs available.
That's cool.
And truth be told, CDs really do sound better than MP3s or streaming or any of that stuff. It's just a better quality product. So some people still prefer to get a CD.
That's me, Tom.
But hey, man, the main thing is making records is cool and it's necessary, and we enjoy the process. And I like creating my own music, and we all love, going in the studio every couple of years to make a new album. But what we really do is play live,
right?
And what we do best is get up on stage and play live to an audience that can just escape the problems of the day for a few hours while they're with us, Yeah. And there's really nothing like it. We did some shows recently, and everything's selling out lately. And I'm not, we usually do pretty well, but there's a new enthusiasm for live shows, and everything that we've done so far is selling out, and the Belly Up is on track to sell out. It's just a handful of tickets left. So if anybody's thinking of going to that show, please get those tickets in advance, because what's been happening is we get people reaching out to us in the last few days before the show, wanting to get tickets or wanting to get on our guest list, and we just don't have the room or the capacity after a while. It was really a problem last weekend up here in Northern California where we live, and it's the show sold out right away, and then for the next few weeks we had people trying to get some way to buy tickets or get on our list. So I'm serious, not just trying to sell tickets. I just think if you're interested in going to the show at all, should do it soon, because it's probably gonna sell out.
Well, yeah, that's why
we won't be able to help you after that.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing this promo like 2 days before the show for those last minute people. I'm gonna send that out to all the different groups that I'm associated with in San Diego County. In fact, San Diego County Blues Lovers. I don't know if you're on that one, Facebook. That's actually my site, but I don't tell everyone. But so San Diego County Blues Lovers got a lot of people on there, a lot of blues artists, and so check out that one. That way you can put any of your information there next time you're coming. Okay, so anyway, you still got time, Tommy, or are you in a hurry?
Oh, no, I got a few minutes. I'm just walking around in circles with a cup of coffee.
Okay, all right. Okay, so now after that 2001, I don't have any releases from 2001 to 2009, so that must have been still Blind Pig. But then I've got Tommy Castro, Hard Believer, 2009. Was that your first one with Alligator Records?
Yes.
That was the first one. Okay.
Yeah, that one was our first Alligator release, and it won 4 Blues Music Awards.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, that was the biggest year we ever had when it came to the BMAs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a good solid record. It didn't have any particular theme to it. It was just a good batch of songs, and it was produced by fairly legendary record producer John Porter. He's got a lot of credits, way too many to mention, but Taj Mahal albums and John Cleary, and even worked with guys like the Rolling Stones, and he remixed Hendrix albums, and that were released after Jimmy died. And it's just got an amazing story. His wife is Linda Keith, who was, if you know the story of Jimi Hendrix's success, there was this woman named Linda Keith that really kind of was instrumental in getting Jimmy noticed and signed in England back in the day. And so that's it. That's John Porter produced that album, and I think that had a lot to do with. I think he really brought a lot to the party. I had a good band and a pretty strong batch of material. But it was my first time working with John Porter, and he really is. There's a certain talent that producers either have or don't. Some guys come in from a technical background; they're more like engineer background, technical background, and some are musicians. That come in that are really musically. They're producers that just come from a more musical background, and John was both of those guys.
Right.
Really, really cool and easy and fun to work with. So we made a great record together. I'm really proud of that one.
So did you, now, whatever happened to Blind Pig, did that kind of get eaten up by another group, or, another record label, or it just kind of went?
Blind Pig had a really long run. They had very successful run of releases. Many great artists recorded with them.
Mm-hmm.
My friend Coco Montoya and Jimmy Thackeray, and I remember Debbie Davies. They had Magic Slim, Louisiana Red. They had, they even did a record with Buddy Guy and Junior Wells.
Wow.
And there was 2 guys. One guy lived in Chicago. One guy lived in San Francisco. The 2 partners, Edward and Jerry. good friends of mine. They were always really good to us. And thing about small independent record labels is, the people that you're working with that own the label are, you work directly with them, and they're more like family or like friends. And now it's very much the case with those guys. They had the label for a really good long run. I would guess it was at least 20 years, maybe more, and maybe 25. And then they sold it to Orchard.
Oh, okay.
And they both got out of the business, but they had a really good long run, and I enjoyed my years with them. We did about six albums with those guys.
With Blind Pig, or with Orchard.
Yeah, and now I'm up to 7 or 8 with Alligator. I'm not sure exactly how many, but
you got quite a few.
I've been with them for a long time now too.
Yeah. So how did you hook up with Alligator? So Bruce is that Iglar? Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
So big. Okay. So he's the founder. He founded in 1971. I kind of read a little of the bio of the 50-year CD that they put out. And by the way, people, that is a really good CD to get. It's a 3 CD. And it starts in 1971, goes up to current, even with new artists like Kingfish and Selwyn Birchwood and others. So there's a lot of good music on there. So how did you hook up with Alligator?
Well, I was, let's see what was going on. I had, I finished, I finished a deal, a run with Blind Pig.
Mm-hmm.
And we had like a 2-record deal that I signed, and I thought, I was either going to re-sign with them or try something different. And I was with the manager at the time, and we were trying to decide what would be the best thing for me. And we thought, let's give Alligator a call. I mean, the only reason I didn't get together with Alligator sooner is because they were, main competitor with my friends at Blind Pig,
right,
who I felt very loyal to, and they were like family to me, and I didn't want to go to their biggest competitor, so I avoided going to Alligator Records for a long time, and then based on the way the industry was changing and the budgets were getting tighter because there were less CDs being sold in general. It was about that time when people could download music. Sales of actual CDs were becoming were getting slower, so they were tightening up their promotional budget.
Yeah.
So the amount of money they were able to spend to get radio play and to get placement in stores and all of that kind of money was drying up a little bit, and so long story short, the last couple of albums that I did with Blind Pig, I was not happy with their performance in promoting the albums, and so I thought, okay, well, maybe it's time for change, and so I just picked up the phone and called Bruce myself.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
And I said, hey, how would you feel about doing a record with me? And we just started talking, and the next thing you know, we signed a 3-record deal, and I went on to make a Hard Believer. We did a live album after that called the Legendary Rhythm and Blues Review Live, and then I did, and that one didn't count as one of my 3 records. That was a one-off. But then the next album was, I believe it was The Devil You Know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when the Painkillers came into existence.
Right.
I came in, I cut the band down to a 4-piece unit, and I wanted to drive it more with guitar. The previous band was a band with a couple of horns, and and that big horn R&B sound was a big, was something that I had done. I felt like I'd done enough of that. Right. I really had a few albums, and every time everything that we had that big wall of sound with horn section on it, and I enjoyed it. We made really good records together. I loved going out and performing with that band, but I really wanted to do something different, and I wanted to push myself a little more as a guitar player, and kind of make the guitar more of the focus again. And so we created this new group called the Painkillers. And at the time was my original bass player who'd been gone for a few years, came back, and we put our heads together and come up with an idea of what we wanted to do next. And so the music changed a little bit, and the sound changed a little bit, and I feel like we grew a little bit through that time, and we created a band called Tommy Castro and the Painkillers, some new members, some new blood, and we made an album called The Devil You Know, which was quite a bit different from what I had been doing before.
Right.
That sounds like me, though.
Yeah, that came out in 2014. I'm actually holding it up right now. The Devil You Know, 2014, and I actually played on my playlist the songs with the Holmes brothers, who unfortunately they're all the brothers are gone. I think there's one left. So,
That's a good song.
Yeah, it was a really good song. And then
that's also got Magic Dick on harmonica.
Oh, really?
That song.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Magic Dick from Jay Giles Band, correct. All right. Yeah, I always liked his music. Okay, well, I'm kind of running low on battery power on my computer, but anyway, so then in 2000,
there's so many things to charge.
I know. I have the charger. I just would have to run to the other room to get the charger. So anyway, so Tommy Castro and the Painkillers, Method to Madness, another Alligator record. I'm showing that came out in 2015. Some good songs on that one. And then in 2000, it seemed like a 2-year span between CDs. Another Alligator record came out 2017. That was when you were in your hometown. What is it? San Jose?
Yep.
Stomping Ground. So Stomping Ground 2017. I think the last one you put out with Alligator was in 2019, Killing It Live. Is that correct?
Right. It was time for another live album, and I had nenever recorded a live album with the Painkillers.
Right.
So that's a pretty good. If anybody wants to know what we sound like now, you can listen to Killing It Live. It'll give you a pretty good idea what the show is like. Now that we have a new record and some new material that we're going to be performing, there'll be some new songs coming out based on that. But typically, like the show that you're going to see is at Belly Up, and it'll be a lot like Killing It Live.
You got any new songs from your new release you're going to play at the Belly Up?
Just one.
Okay.
Just one so far. Yeah.
Cool.
I don't want to give up too much until release date. We still got a month.
No, we want to be surprised. So anyway, all right. And then you're going to be okay. So this Saturday you're going to be at Belly Up. You got a new release coming out September 17th called, what's the title again?
It's called A Blues Man Came to Town.
Okay, and people can order that on TommyCastro.com. Okay, and then
I should mention one little thing here, because this doesn't happen all the time. I have my partner is a woman named Deanna Bogart. A lot of people know who she is, but there's a few out there that maybe don't.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, she's going to be meeting me in San Diego, and will probably be around, and it would be. I'm most likely going to ask her to come up and join us at some point. She plays saxophone and piano and sings really great. And,
that's cool.
We'll probably bring her up near the end of the night I just thought I should let you know about that. There are plenty of Deanna Bogart fans down there in Southern California. So we most likely, it's totally up to her if she wants to play or not. But I got a feeling, knowing her, she will want to.
But she lives.
We're gonna probably ask Deanna to come up and jam with us.
She lives in San Diego.
People know about that.
She lives in San Diego.
She lives in Palm Desert.
Oh,
We both do.
Oh, you
Yeah.
both live. Okay. All right. So you both live in Palm Desert. Okay. All right. Well, so that's it. And then after the 17th, I guess we're going to be talking again because you're going to be playing at the Coach House, and I'm most likely going to that one. So anyway, and I'm hoping to get to the Belly Up too. So anyway, anything you want to say to your fans out there, Mr. Castro?
Well, just that I miss you guys. It's really, exciting to be coming back and playing our favorite club in Southern California, and with all of our, we have so many good friends and fans down there, and we've been doing some of us been doing this the whole time.
Yeah.
Some of the folks that will be there at the Belly Up have been following us for 25 years or more.
Wow.
So it's exciting. We really, really do appreciate our audience, and I know that the audience seems to really appreciate. You don't miss your water till your well runs dry.
That's a good one.
That's an old song, but it's true, and I think we all really kind of have a whole new appreciation and for this thing that we do. It's kind of like the bees and the flowers and the trees. We can't do this without each other.
Right.
There's no point in us playing music
if you don't have fans,
people to listen to it and enjoy it. And there's no audience. There's nothing without a live music to go to. They're not an audience, and so we all need each other, and we really appreciate it. It's been my experience the last handful of shows that we did. We've done a few since May.
Uh-huh.
We've gone out and done maybe 6 or 8 shows now, and it's different. There's something different in the air. So we're looking forward to sharing that in San Diego and Solana Beach.
Okay, well, before you go, I want to say this. It's really cool because you're considered a legend of blues right now, but you actually, when you came in, you were a younger guy, and you were playing with the legends of blues. Most of those are probably all dead now, but to have played with John Lee Hooker, now you're entering the field of becoming the old legend, and the new guys are coming. The new guys are coming in.
I love it. So I like being the old guy now. I like being the old blues guy now. It's really cool. I've been listening to old blues guys my whole life, and now I am one.
Now you are one. So, but anyway, hey, but for an old blues guy, you rock them, and you're very entertaining live. So, Tommy, it's a pleasure talking with you, and thank you for taking the time to share the word of your shows and your new release.
All right, Rick. Well, hey, thanks a lot for having me on, and we'll see you in a couple of days. Yeah,
I'm going to try to get there, and hopefully I can get a picture with a living blues legend.
All right, my brother. Take care.
Okay, have a good one, Tommy. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.